Alright, so this is going to be one of the more professional videos I've made so far. So I wanted to kind of tell everybody about a problem you might run into if you try to do a similar setup like me. So basically I'm trying to use the Carli forward rear shock mounts on my truck with the Fox shock absorber on my it's an 04 truck, but it's going to be running a 2016 axle. But regardless, it's an 04 truck, and these are all 2016 parts. And one thing I noticed right off the bat, and I'm pretty sure the problem stems from Carli specifically, because these things are expensive. They're super quality built, but they don't line up for shit. Like, nothing works on this truck. Like, I'm not even sure if this is the right mount for any Ford truck, but regardless, it's super well constructed. I have no problem with that part. It just doesn't fit, doesn't line up. And then when you go to try to use the included hardware to go into your shock absorber hardware, it doesn't even fit either. So I had to kind of improvise in the situation. I'll show you what I did. So these are like the standard hardware that come with the shock absorber mount kit, and as you can see, if you were to try to like put that hardware onto this bolt, it ain't happening. And likewise, if we try to do this, it ain't happening. Now these are some components that came with the shock mount, which I see nowhere in the description or on the website or in the pictures, but I'm assuming that's for like a different type of style shock, like a king shock or something. So it'd be cool to keep them, but they don't work on the Fox shock that I have here. So unfortunately, they don't do me any good. And what I come up with is this, which I had found on Amazon. Now, I did have to grind down a smidge. I mean, I sanded it down, not grinded it down. You can tell this is my sanded edge versus the factory edge, but it's the brass sleeve that I got on Amazon, and I'll show you on my phone, which again, this is super high production value here. It is, let me get the rotation on my phone. I should have gotten this ready. Alright, so here we go. This right here, this is a, oh, come on. Oh, you're serious. Let's go to the YouTube. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. It is a 9/16 by 11/16 by 1 3/4. And they're like for trailers, like the bushing for the trailers, I believe, like the leaf spring. But they're made out of bronze and tin, I guess, and that's the dimensions. And you buy them in a pack of 4. Now you only need 2. They're for the upper. And again, this is only if you're probably going with this style mount. I don't know if you'd run into this problem any other way, but if you did somehow get to this point in the conversation where the bolt has been increased in size and it won't fit in the bushing, you can go with this thing and then shave it down the millimeters that you need in order to get it to slide in there. It's a little bit tight, but I want it to be a little bit tight. The paint will wear off, or maybe I'll grind it down a little bit more, maybe smooth it out, but whatever, it fits. I somewhat half-ass tested it, and it does actually go in here. Now, here's how I did it. You can kind of see a little oopsie doodle there, but here's how I did it. I took the bushing and I had pressed this thing in all the way to one side, and then I took the side that was sticking out and pushed it up. And then I had to figure out how much I had to push this rubber bushing up to expose the final bit that was hitting the bottom right there. And then once I figured out how much I had to take off, I shoved it so that way when I ground it down, that brass piece needed to be flush with this piece, and that's how I knew I was at the right length. And then I just slid it right in. Now, again, these will fit, which these are 2 pieces, which are kind of garbage, but what you got to do is press it in. You can use a mallet, a C-clamp, a press. Definitely recommend using either some soap or some grease, whatever floats your boat. Now, I haven't gotten installed yet. That's because I uninstalled it, so I'm pretty sure the best way of approaching this is you want to insert this first without the bushing, and then insert the bushing after. Otherwise, you might be fighting the extra thickness and pressing it. You don't really want to damage the shock, but you can do it however you want to do it. But I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to grease this guy up, shove her in, grease this guy up, shove her in, kind of split the difference on the width. And yeah, but if you're curious, these are the instructions Carly gives you, which are pretty much useless. They do say there is a different version for, what do they say? 0507 to 0815, which, I don't know, whatever. You know, this is the kind of shit you deal with when you start doing things your way and not the way everybody else does it.